Make sure to subscribe to Ben on YouTube so you can stay up to date on everything Humble.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Ben Humble, back on the show, on the Data Drama Show here today. Hey, we got an awesome conversation here today. I'm very excited. I've got a great friend of mine who will be joining me in just a second. We're talking about making money moves. You know what I'm talking about? Making money moves, and there's a lot more to it. I think you're starting to realize that by hanging out with me on a regular basis. I'm more than just about money, right? Money's a byproduct of a lot of different things, but money is not the only focus. Mind, body, spirit, personal development, it all is an inclusive package. So when you're living in the anointing and you're in the blessing, guess what? It all comes. And if you're faithful with a little, then you'll have a lot. Used to be Jenny from the block. Today, I'm excited, man. I have my brother. This dude I love, man. You know, Ray and I are in a mastermind together, and he was such a pleasure, man, just meeting this guy a couple years ago, and I've got to know him super well. He's going to be a massive blessing. It's my brother, Ramon Gonzales. The dude's out in Florida, and such a world of knowledge. So I'm going to bring my brother on, and we're going to get the show popping the right way here. So welcome my man to the stage, Mr. Ray Gonzales. What's up, dog? How are you, my man?
Blessed, my man. Blessed and highly favored, man. Excited to be here with you, Ben, man. You know, you're my boy. You're my brother from another mother. And although we have the same father, I appreciate you having me on the show.
Dude, that's awesome, man. I'm going to have my rig with me here today, so we'll be talking about some stuff. And if it gets good, we're going to give you some applause, man. We're going to give you some applause. Brother, so let me just give people a quick background, and I want you to jump into your story a little bit. But Ray's a money lender. Ray came up, right? And dude, you went to university, right? College, financial degree. Dude, and you started lending money at at an early age. You practice financial responsibility, frugality. You and me are very, very similar in a lot of ways. And when we met a couple years ago, we were both lending money, right? We both had some money parked out there, a couple $1 million or a few $1 million a pop, parked in the community. We're making money off of money. We understand the compound interest game. We understand the whole, the borrower is slave to the lender game. A lot of that stuff kind of translates, man. So, Ray, would you jump in? Because I know we got a lot of stuff to cover today. Jump in, brother. Tell us a little bit of your backstory and how maybe you got into this entire game of personal development, money lending, and business, dude.
So, background is born and raised in Miami. Went to school down here, studied economics. Then I went to work for General Electric in their corporate office. Studied finances and economics for GE for a few years and graduated from their program. And then I started buying and holding multifamily real estate in Connecticut. Came down to sold some of those. Came down to Florida and started wholesaling and fixing and flipping. I'd always wanted to buy and hold, but the market at that point didn't allow me. So it was just the prices were too high. The numbers didn't make sense. So I started fixing and wholesaling down here, made it through that first cycle in 2008. And then 2010, 11, I got back in the game, started wholesaling, fixing and flipping again. And then I started buying and holding aggressively 2012, 2013. And then like 16, 17, 18, sold the entire portfolio. I built out the fix and flip business and the wholesale business, and then I kind of sold all that, took all the liquidity, and started a loan business. And then with mostly our own capital, Ben, and we do take some outside investors, but mostly our own capital. And we run a fund through that where we mostly lend to other great people, and we do deals together. And most of our revenue lately has been, or for the last 2 or 3 years, has been interest income, which for us and my unique ability, what I call my unique ability wealth path, has made the most sense for me. And again, it's because I have a unique ability there, very much similar to Ben's. Doesn't mean that my path is your path. It just means figure out what God has given your path to be and follow that path, because he gave you a very unique set of gifts and skills, and make sure you double and triple down on that bad boy. Whatever that is for you.
I love it, man. And there's a kind of common path here that a lot of us kind of guys and girls go through, right? Like, we understand that there's a bigger game. We play the bigger game. We met at a mastermind. So we both met at we pay 50 grand, or I pay 50,000 Canadian to be in a mastermind. We met at this thing. It's like, dude, here's my brother. We qualified because we both were obviously pushing for it. You've had a lot of success in your life as a private lender. I think there's two things about you that's really, really important to me. Number one, you're extremely relational, dude. Very, very relational guy. And I love that about you because there's no hidden agenda. There's no nonsense. You're to the point. A lot of people out there are maybe afraid or don't know how to become a friend with a private lender or whatever. Would you talk about the importance of relationship? Because this, I think, is probably the most pivotal thing, especially right now in this whole economic craziness. And maybe start talking a little bit about how this market right now is the same or different from back in 2008 when you really started making some pace there and some progress. We came to Canada in 1991 with nothing but a will to thrive. They risked everything they had, left behind everyone they knew.
The only way out of the country was illegal, and the risk was huge.
I adopted the mindset that my parents had of faith and vision for my life. You see, they helped me understand that you get to decide what happens in this world. By the age of 30, I became a millionaire. I refused to accept scarcity, limiting beliefs, or someone else's excuses. So you want to know what the secret is? People ask me all the time, what's the secret? You want to know what it's going to take for you to succeed? Here's the truth.
All right, so let's go with the first question, then make sure I hit the second one. So the first question was more about relationships. I think when you look at you differentiate what's temporary and what's eternal. What's eternal, right? Love, relationships, faith, right? These are the things that are eternal, right? So I think the first relationship to establish is yours with your creator, whatever you believe, right? That there's a higher power than you are driving you, and being humble enough to
Amen.
control, being humble enough to not even control, being humble enough, let me use the right word, to surrender and have that force that already knows flow through you. So one is that relationship with the creator. Two, the relationship with yourself. And then once you have that right, then you can go out to the world and make relationships with others, because otherwise you're coming from a place that's not the real you. It's inauthentic. It's not your higher self, right? Because then the ego will sabotage us into putting on a mask for somebody else so that we can create a relationship, but they see right through that because it's not who you really are. But when it's who you really are, people can see that, and they either are attracted or they're not, and then that's how that goes. But again, be true to yourself first, and then look for people that you can actually go out there and serve. Again, Ben, the humble servant, right? Go out there and serve. I mean, all these ascended masters, the question they're asked is, how can I serve? Every single one of them.
I love that, man. So let me touch on that. Folks, do you realize something awesome about a lot of my guests on this show? People look at me like, dude, how do you have all these amazing friends? And not only are they like really well off financially and they do well, but they're just awesome human beings. And I think there's a commonality there, Ray, with the higher level. I'm going to say the people who have pushed for personal development and have been successful in that, and then they have money as a byproduct of their personal development. That kind of individual, which is you, it's a different frequency of conversation. Like, we're not getting around talking about people and nonsense and noise, and we're speculating on the media and watching Tiger King, Prince, Fire Dragon, whatever this thing is called. We're talking about ideas, growth, business, momentum. And when you have those kind of friends, folks at home, when you have those kind of friends, it really forces you to level up. So Ray, you've been one of those guys to me, because I know a lot of people are like, where do you find all these guys and girls? They're amazing. And I'm like, hey, I put myself in an environment where I pushed for personal development. And when other people do the same, you start meeting some superhumans, man. So talk about the relationship, because I think most people, listen, folks, if you don't have high-level relationships with other business people and other people in your life that can invest in you time, energy, and money, the truth is you're living a very transactional life. So not only do you have maybe shallow relationships with people, but you're also not getting anywhere. I think the depth of the relationship is going to be, in direct correlation with how far you're going to go. Like, Ray and I can go so much further together because we have a real authentic relationship built on trust, based on credibility, and just based on genuine interest and support for each other. So if Ray does something and he changes or whatever, I'm like, yo, Ray, what's going on, man? This is a negative. Or, hey, man, dude, you're doing great, man. Or you want to move in this path? I'm going to support you in this path. Talk about the depth of relationship, because I don't think people really understand sometimes what I mean by build a real relationship with people.
Man, I think that if you don't have the relationships you want, Ben, you're gonna love this one, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Don't judge. How do you judge a tree? Well, by the fruit that it bears, right? No good tree can bear bad fruit. No bad tree can bear good fruit. If you're bearing bad fruit right now, you got to look at that fruit. And then once you look at that fruit and say, hey, I don't have that because I'm not producing the kind of fruit I want to be around. The reason Ben and I are being fruitful and multiplying this message, right, is because we share the same message. We share the same roots. But so what I want to share with you is, Your relationships is only a reflection of you and how you relate with yourself.
Dude.
So the first thing I would look at, if you're not attracting what you want, you attract that which you are.
Dude, I gotta hit a bomb for that, dude. That was some magic right there. I need to re-record that and play that a few times, dude. Let me kind of touch on that piece, because now you got my mind flowing with some awesome visions, right? We got visions as people. I see it this way. Imagine a farmer who's out in the field and he's planting seeds every day. Planting seeds, planting seeds, planting seeds. And by the way, folks, you're either planting good seed or bad seed, and that's you planting a good relationship or a bad relationship, right? People say that first impression is the most important thing. Well, that's one of the important factors. The second one is this: how are you cultivating that relationship, right? It's one thing to plant a seed. Hey, Ray, how are you? Nice to meet you. Boom. That's the first impression. That's only the initial. Guess what you got to do after that? You have to stay in the game and the relationship. So then I get this vision of, man, of just cultivating. And then one day what happens? COVID strikes and I'm in the middle of a harvest. What do you mean? I mean, I got tons of relationships with people that I care about and trust. So when I call and say, hey, I need some help with the deal. I need some money for this deal. I need some partnerships. I need some advice. I need some whatever. Guess what happens? I think people come back and they're willing to pour back into my business and my life, but it's only because I was able and willing to harvest. I was able to put it in, boom, 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 and then I was able to reap that later on. So cultivating the relationship, man. Talk about strengthening that.
So I think the first one is so I think the first thing is when you look first of all, you got to plant seeds, right? So I agree with you with the farmer with the farm analogy 100%. But if you look at the stories, some of the seed fell on the path. Some of the seed fell on the thorn. Some of the seed fell in the areas where it couldn't grow, right? And some fell on soil that to grow. So, guys, be generous with your seeds. Spread the word. Connect with many. Look to help people, and then don't look at where it's coming back. The harvest will come if you plant. Don't focus on, hey, I planted on this path and it didn't grow. It could have been the timing. Maybe it did grow later. Like, don't focus so much on what you're getting. Focus more on what you're giving. And then as long as you're planting, the harvest will always come. And then just staying relevant with that harvest, as you see them start to sprout, start to pay more attention to the ones that are sprouting and be more relevant, because those are the ones who the word is actually sprouting within, who actually are on the same path of you. Not everybody's going to be on the same path, and they're not wrong for doing that. And you're not right for looking for spreading your seed. Spread the seed, be fruitful and multiply. Spread that seed everywhere. And then as some of them relate to you, stay relevant. Talk to Ben. Send him a quick text. Yo, Ben, how you doing?
Yeah.
Like, find the guys and ladies that are sharing, that share your perspective, and look to do more together. So then the question becomes, how do we do more together? Because relationships take time. Nurturing, like cultivating a garden, it takes time. It takes relationship. It takes staying relevant.
Dude, right? I love that you're framing it that way, because I think we live in a place of instant gratification. This is all across the board. If I want to invest in you, you owe me today, right? It's kind of like this old adage, right? Like, I'm going to take a girl on a date, now she has to sleep with me. That's some bullshit. I'm sorry, fellas. That's ridiculous. If that's your mind frame, I don't agree with you, okay? You got to cultivate some stuff. I'm keeping it for real right now, right? I'm not going to make some stuff up, right? Let's keep it for real. You got to be able to cultivate this whole instant gratification thing. I think is a very immature mindset, right? Like, you want it today. You want to start a business in real estate. You want to become a multimillionaire in 10 minutes. Like, it doesn't work that way. Guys like Ray, we got 10 years or 12 years for myself in the business, been cultivating for 12 years. The question is this: in 12 years from now, or 5 or 6 or 7, did you or did you not plant enough of those seeds? And Ray, you're absolutely right, dude. Some of the seeds you plant are going to hit concrete. They're not going to take root. They're not going to grow, because when you try to plant seeds with some people, they just don't want to have it. So all you can do, does that mean that you stop, my brother? Or does that mean that you just plant more?
You plant more. Yeah, you plant more. So planting is one, and then you brought up another point, and I call that delayed gratification. There's a reason why you plant a certain season and you don't actually reap a harvest till much later. You've got to be willing to delay that gratification. And I'm not saying don't enjoy the ride. Those are two different things. People get into it, YOLO. No, look, I'm a big fan of giving yourself nice things. Ben, you've got a nice car, but that took time to get to.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing a lot of guys is if they're not willing to do that with the relationship, they can never win the money game. Why? Because the money game is not about the money. It's about your relationship to money.
Yeah.
And if you have a needy relationship to money, it's like a lady. She's just going to run from you, fellas.
That's right. Dude, I love that. So how needy are you? Some of us, I heard it said the other day that the more you chase money, the more it runs from you. If you only chasing the money, guess what? You're not going to catch the money. At some point of the game, you need to attract money. So let's talk about how we attract it. I believe we attract money when we attract the right relationships into our lives. Because the right relationships become, like you said, fruitful. Because I can call you up right now in the middle of COVID, and you and I could have not spoken for 3-4 months. I could pick up the phone and say, hey, man, what's up, man? I need a deal. I need a loan to put this deal together. You're not going to be looking at me like, man, COVID and blah, blah, blah. You're going to say, if I give anybody a loan, it's this dude. If there's anybody I'm going to help, it's this person here. So, dude, I love that you're phrasing it that way because that's the investment. You have to invest in people. You have to start now. And if you're not, then, hey, I mean, you really can't blame anybody but yourself when you don't have the right network. Ray, talk about investing in the right people because unfortunately, dude, a lot of people investing in the wrong people that aren't going to produce a result. They get drunk every weekend or whatever's happening, right? It's not producing. So talk about fruitful relationships with the right people if you don't mind.
I didn't really get, I've been doing this 15 years. It wasn't really until the last 5, maybe last 4, that I really got this network is equal to your net worth. That is so true. And you don't need that many people. 10, 15 amazing people will set your life on fire.
That's right.
The key is, how are you adding value? How are you staying relevant? How are you thinking about them? Where are you trying to connect them and help them grow?
Yeah.
Right. And then how deep are those connections you built? What experiences, what moments do you have with these people? How have you connected? So your question was first, I think first you got to become it. Once you become it, figure out where they hang around, but be strategic about it. Dude, you know what? You don't even have to be that strategic about it. Like once you become that, dude, God will take care of that for you. He'll put you in the
People
right
will come in your life, dude. Once you become, see, this is what it is. I love Chris talks about this. Is like, be, do, have. It's something he talks about. So become or be the person that attracts wealth. Do the things that wealthy people do to grow it, and then you're going to have the things that you want to have, but you got to be, do, have, right? But you got to be. This is why I'm so big on personal development, because until you are the kind of person that attracts wealth, all you're going to do is repel it. You're going to repel the right people. You're going to repel opportunities. You're going to repel the right mindset. You're going to repel the things that actually attract. So whatever you believe in, whatever it's the law of attraction or faith or God, or I don't know what you believe in. I believe in God and Jesus. That's my belief system, right? So I believe in a relationship, but I'm also very relationally, right? So, somebody said to me, hey man, your faith is different than my faith. I went to, a Catholic church or whatever, and I did the things, and, it was a very transactional kind of church process. For me, guys, it's all about relationships. A relationship up, relationship out, relationship sideways. Relationships with people will get you what you want. So, dude, I love the whole attraction piece. See, when you become a light, what happens is people start noticing you, right, Ray? Like when you're a positive, energetic personality who's focused on abundance, focused on creating, and focused on serving and helping other people, you get noticed. Now, it may take some time. You might have to get into different circles, but what happens is you naturally will radiate whatever you have. If you're negative and you're crying and complaining every day about everything in life, guess what? Everybody knows you. Everybody knows you as the negative person. You think you're not affecting anybody with your negativity? You are. You're affecting everybody around you. And people like me, I'm going to repel that. I don't care. You could have been an amazing human being, but as soon as you're negative with me, we cut off because I don't need the negativity in my life.
And we're so positive and faith-based and working on ourselves that I can spot that out a mile away. Who's transactional, I can spot that out a mile away.
Yeah.
And like to give you more of a real life example right now, at least in the United States, Ben, a lot of the people that were transactional and used to get money from Wall Street, meaning these Wall Street firms that used to lend them on fix and flip at high loan to values, 100% of rehab, money up front, and you didn't really have a relationship, they shut down.
Yeah.
They're not doing any more lending. So now these people who went there because they could save a point or two or a couple interest rate less, they left all their other relationships because it was more transactional. Where can I go that's the cheapest?
Yeah.
Now, if one of those guys came back to me and said, hey, Ray, let's do business, brother, where you been the last 2-3 years? I'd rather go with somebody else who's already been flowing me through this whole time, and we've got a great relationship. Now you're trying to come back, and then when the market does come back, you're gonna go right back to them. No, thank you, man. I appreciate you. I love you. I forgive you, and I forgive myself. God bless you, and go your way. I'm gonna hit my path,
dude. I got a saying, man. It's God bless you. Have a nice day. People in my office knows what that means. If I tell you God bless you, have a nice day, that's a nice way of me telling you get lost. We ain't doing business ever again. It is in that sequence. God bless you. Have a nice day. I'll say have a nice day or God bless you. But if you hear in that sequence, you done. Because the truth is, you're absolutely right. In periods of transaction, what happens is people will do deals just to get deals done. Nobody cares about you when you're being transactional, and you don't care about them. That's why they let you make stupid decisions. They let you borrow more than you should. Your local banker is going to let you get this ridiculous line of credit and loan that he wouldn't give to his own brother, but he lets you have it to close the deal. People that are relational, when the economy gets tight and difficult, you're going to challenge me on bad decisions. You're going to keep me from making stupid decisions if you're relational. Because if I call Ray for a loan, hey, man, I need a loan to put this deal together, guess what you're going to do? Hey, dude, is this in your best interest? Is this really the kind of deal you want to be doing? Does it make sense? Validate it. See, you don't want people who just hand over money to you. That's not the kind of relationship you want. In fact, you want somebody who's going to hold you accountable. You want somebody that's going to help you stay on track when your emotions take over.
A partner. So when I lend money, I'm so relationship driven that all my guys have a partner. So this week, I spent writing a 6-page letter to all my guys and talking them one off. Hey, look, I've been through a cycle. Let me help you because you're not seeing. One of the guys that we both know had a house listed on the market for like $460. I go, listen, man, you're not getting any showings. You're not getting any activity. This is going to get worse. And I walked them through the whole logic. I walked them through the supply. I walked them through the logic of how I came, not just like, hey, Ray's saying it. No, here's all the logic.
Yeah.
Can you give me data, not drama? Can you give me data to say this is not going to happen? He goes, no. And I go, well, then drop the price now and let's get it sold. He dropped the price. Bro, got it in the contract. We're closing May 22nd.
So, dude, it was data, not drama, that put 100%. It together.
And also the experience, right? Yeah. I've been through this before. I've been through this cycle before. I've seen what happens. I know what's going to happen. And when you talk about investing, so that's one thing, find a good partner. So with me and my guys, it's never, money is what we exchange, but it's also, they get me, they get my partner, so they get my insight, right? They get a partner, right? So it's never about just money. Dude. With me, it's about the relationship first. So I care about this. I want them to win.
Yep. By the way, if you guys are interested in real estate investing and you are in Canada, I wrote a book here called Real Estate Secrets Exposed. Learn how to actually make money virtually, which is cool, from the comfort of your home. Yes, it is possible if you understand the value and how to do wholesaling. And if you don't know anything about wholesaling, you need to grab this book. It's absolutely free. There's no page numbers. There's nothing else in there. It's just ready to go, though. Humble.ceo to grab your free copy. Dude, I love that. Let's go into that, man. I'm going to hit another bomb. Dude, you're going to be getting some bombs here today. It's not about just the money. If all you want is money from me, you trying to hit it and quit it. And I don't play that. All right, child? I don't play it like that. You know why? Because here's the truth. The real value doesn't come from you getting money from me. It comes from getting access. Get access, man, to the wisdom. Get access to all my experiences. Get access to my network. Get access to what I know. Get access to my intuition. We're not valuing the source of the money. We only value the money. That's how I know you're the wrong player. And when somebody sends me an email like, dude, will you fund this? I've never talked to you. You've never made an effort. You've never even sent me so much as a like on Instagram.
What's the LTV? How do you work? Dude, everything is different. The first one's going to be a little bit different because we're still getting to know each other, and then are you willing to build? I'm watching my guys to see if they're willing to. I even call them my guys to see if they're willing to build a relationship. Because if they're trying to be, oh Ray, but I got this other deal over here and it's a point less. Yeah, but you don't get me. You don't get the intuition. Yeah. And when shit goes sideways and you got to extend, or they have Wall Street money somewhere else, look, they'll text me. Oh Ray, I need an extension. All right, cool. What's going on? You saw that? Yeah. All right, cool. So I'm even coaching my guys to things that don't benefit me. Yeah. Hey, this guy raises a lot of money for multifamily. I don't know if you know him, but I go, listen, this doesn't benefit me. I'd rather you keep paying the loan and keep going, but I think that raising money is going to get harder, so raise more now. And he goes, Ray, you're so, he called me, he goes, Ray, I love you. And I go, why? And he's like, you're so not concerned about you that you're willing to take less so that you help me get out. And again, I was going to do what you were going to tell me to do anyway. Like, he was already doing that. Yeah. But he's like, how great it is of you to think more of us long-term in the relationship versus just the money.
It's a two-way street.
To cut the money to make sure they win.
Dude, it's a two-way street, 100% a two-way street. I think people think like, oh, I got to pay this lender 12% and that's all what it's always going to be and whatever. I had somebody call me the other day and they were all kind of like sheepish about it. Like, hey, I'm looking to put this thing together. Can I get a second mortgage or whatever? Somebody I did business with in the past. I was like, yeah. He's like, well, what's it going to be? Like 12%, 13%? I was like, nah, 7. He's like, what do you mean 7? I was like, it's not a big loan. You don't need it for a long time. I don't need to make money off this loan. I made enough money with you on another deal we just did. 7. You take my cost of funds on this. And they're like, why would you do that? Why wouldn't I do that? See, relationships go two ways, though. You want an ally. We talk about allies versus friends, man. Dude, a lot of friends out in the world, and the friends, they care about two things. They care about comparison and compassion, neither of which you need. You don't want comparison or criticism because they're going to compare you to them the whole day. They don't want you to change or get better. And you don't want compassion, like poor you, stay where you are. You don't need any more. Just live the life you have. You don't want that. You want an ally, somebody who says, hey, man, I'm moving forward over here, and I need people to move forward with. I need people who have my back. I need people to talk to me, sensibly in the moment where I'm being emotional about a deal, emotional about a situation. So you want to create those allies. So the reason why I like connecting with guys like Ray's got my back. Even if we never do a deal, Ray has my back. When I needed something and I can call Ray and he says, dude, go do this. Or Ray will call me. What do you think of this person? Here's the truth. If you want to enter a circle that's already existing, a pre-existing relationship, people are going to talk and ask questions about you.
They're always
going to ask. This is how it works.
I was looking at just not looking. I was just talking to a couple guys that are part of another mastermind, high-level guys, and we talked. A couple of guys that run it, and then he reached out to a few guys that I know, and I go, man, don't even go by what I say. Go talk to all these guys who are already in that group and see what they say about me.
100%.
Sure enough, they called. They're like, Ray, they're almost saying that you would be the value of the group instead of the group to you. Like, I go, what people say about you, people do talk about you, dude, matters. Are you a man of your word? Are you an ally? And you know where relationships are forged is during bad times. I heard this from A-Rod, Ben, and it was a great quote. He said, and pardon me if I don't get it right or wrong, but he said something to the extent of, a good poker player plays good cards well and plays bad cards better. I thought that was so key because you know the cards you're going to get dealt. But in bad times, quote unquote, whatever that is, to me, I want to see how people do when they get punched in the face. Yeah. I want to see how ally they're going to be then. Because anybody can be, sunshine and rainbows and hold hands. Yeah. But how do you act when you get punched in the face? Yeah. That's what I want to know. How do you really act? Are you congruent? Do you stay humble? Mm-hmm. Or, how quickly do you, if I send you an email and I prove to you a case saying, hey, here's where I think this market's headed. Here's why. And I'm not saying take the action, but will you consider it? You might have a different belief, but say, hey, you know what? He's sharing this with me. You know what? Like, maybe I'm not seeing this way.
Yeah. Well, I think it comes down to intentions, man. Like, people sense your intention. If you have good intentions towards people, even if your information conflicts with theirs, and they sense you have the right intention towards them, then that's what you need to really think about and focus on the intentions of people, because the intentions are more valuable than the words that are actually spoken, right? So, but if you only focus on the negative and the criticism, you don't look at a person's intentions. See, it's easy to get upset and angry when something happens that's not to your liking. It's easy to throw a fit and easy to do all this stuff. It's easy to feed the flesh because the flesh is weak, man. We all want to feed the flesh. But I would tell you, drop the flesh, man. There's nothing beneficial to you about the flesh. Your ego is killing you. Your ego, there's so many people that could do so many more deals and serve so many more people, but because they want to do it by themselves, they want to be proud that they accomplished it. It's a me, instead of like, you know what? The goal is greater. Like if you have a business, man, I believe you need to serve, like that business needs to grow and thrive or you're not in business. So you have to put your ego aside and grow that business if that's what you truly want. The worst thing I see is when business owners are the worst thing in their business. They're the ones that slow it down. It's their negativity, their ego, their criticism, and they don't allow it to flourish. So, dude, what's your take on the positive outlook of life? Because for me, you're like, you're positive. I make an effort to be positive. Dude, I can be just as negative as the next guy. It comes easy to us. But I try to stay positive because that's the only way I'm going to win in life. What do you, dude, how important is attitude, Ray? Let's talk about it, man.
It's everything. I mean, recently I've been doing a lot of meditating and praying, and most of the guys that I work with, they don't know that I pray for them and I pray for their projects. Like I've recently started to share it. I didn't share it before just because I was like, man, this might be too out there, frou. But I actually do it and I do it often.
Yeah.
and I bless them, right? Not me, right, but through me, right? And so when you give in a relationship, it doesn't have to always be like content. It could be just sending blessings and prayers and sending love. They don't even have to know about it. Matter of fact, in the good book, he says, don't let the left hand know what the right hand is doing.
Boom.
Right? So keep giving, guys. Keep giving. A lot of times right now, I'm seeing a lot of guys not giving. So I watch for their behavior and make sure that you and I are very charitable. Mm-hmm. And I'm not judging someone who isn't or who isn't, right? Because you give that which you have abundance for. If you happen to have money, then you give that. If you happen to bake bread, then you give bread. Whatever it is that your gift is, I'm looking for that characteristic of, are you being a servant? Are you actually giving, right? He who is greatest among you is going to be least among you, right? Right, Big Ben? Got to be willing to serve, guys. Got to be willing to give. And you give what you have. Yeah. But if you're not willing to give a nickel out of $1, you damn well ain't gonna give $500,000 out of 20 million. You know what I mean?
You're never gonna give it away if you don't give it away now. And you know what everybody has is you can have a positive attitude. As much as you like, I had somebody say to me, man, you don't get it. I'm just glass half empty. I'm like, man, you don't get it. That's your choice. You're making that conscious decision every day to remain a victim. You're the one making that decision. Ain't nobody doing it for you. Nobody's in your brain forcing you to think these things. You're the one who's doing it. So, man, let's
go that into deeper.
Yeah, go.
The only thing in life that is not neutral, everything in life is neutral. There's only one thing in life that's not neutral. That's your thoughts. Your thoughts are not neutral. Your thoughts are things. Napoleon Hill said that your thoughts are real. So whatever you're thinking, if you're experiencing something you don't want to experience, something negative, it's only because you had a thought, and now that thought, that creation that you created, that again, you are a creator. You are the thought of love and form from God. As you create and you miscreate, meaning I'm not judging the creation. It's not a creation you want. Then as that creation comes back to you, forgive yourself for having that creation, offer it up to the Holy Spirit, embrace that creation, and make another choice.
Boom.
That's the great gift our Creator has given us, the ability to choose again, to forgive ourselves. However, here's what the ego is, Ben. What the ego is, it's your miscreation. You created the ego. God did not create the ego, right? That's us creating that, right? And then we believe it. And what does the ego want to do? Fight, flight, freeze, think it's better than. It wants to compete, and it wants to keep you distracted. I'm not saying the ego is wrong. I love the ego. I have room. My higher self loves the ego. It's just a part of me that I miscreated. I offer it up to the Holy Spirit. Hey, forgive me for this. God, I choose love. I choose faith. I choose passion. I choose compassion. I choose giving. Right. And when you and the biggest choice is love. Like, what are you gonna choose? What are you gonna choose every day? Are you gonna be committed to love or fear? That's the only choice. And fear is an illusion. Only love is real. But you get that choice every day. God is not gonna rob you of your free will.
Dude, I love that. I love that. Fear is an illusion, but only love is real. Dude, you crushing it today, my man. You about to go spiritual next level right now. We about to baptize some people. Hey,
brother, I've been working on this, Ben. Like, dude, I'm telling you, I'm reading a good chapter of the Bible a day, and I've got other books that I read it to help me. I've been meditating on it. I've been journaling on it, and my own battles and my own shit with my own ego.
Yeah.
So this ain't something that people, friends, family, loves, everyone. This is not something you talk about. This is not something you think about. This ego is inside your body. So this is why in any religion or any faith practice, they have a practice where they pray or they meditate. Why? Because this is an experiential thing. It's in your body. Right? Like the kingdom of heaven is within you. He meant that shit literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all the answers are inside you. But who are you going to trust? Are you going to trust the higher self, the Holy Spirit, or are you going to trust the ego?
Dude, I love it. You got to pick who you're going to serve right now. You serving the flesh, or you going to let yourself be guided by the Spirit? See, that people like, dude, this is too much for me. Y'all are too crazy. Y'all are too whatever. Y'all listen, I talk to people worth 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 million dollars. It's the same conversation. If you're not willing to have this conversation, folks, guess what? You're not trying to make real money. You're not trying to become wealthy because
let's back up a second.
Yeah, go, man.
So watch this. I know guys that have that kind of wealth, and God bless, He's been blessed us with some of that kind of wealth too. If you don't have that, here's what I'm gonna tell you: that external money, if there's still a hole in the inside and you're still listening to the ego, will never fill you. Because what does the ego want? More.
Yeah.
The ego needs the chase.
Yeah.
It can never be satisfied. Why? Because if it's satisfied and grateful, it dies.
Dude. So I hate that mic hard right there, man. Say that one more time, brother. That was some church right there. I think I just peaked it.
Guys, so think about this. The ego is an illusion that you created.
Yes.
Right? And the illusion was based off fear.
Yes.
Right? So it has no substance in reality. You give it the power, but then you identify yourself with the ego. You think that you are it. But meantime, the whole time you weren't the cloud in the sky, you were the sky.
Dude.
You just got caught up. Watch this, Ben, a little rap. You just got caught up in the lie, baby.
Oh,
because all the time you were the sky.
Okay. Ray got it like that, son. Dude, we about to wrap up in here, man. Dude, I love it, man, because the ego dies. I love that because it can't be satisfied. Dude, you spitting fire.
The ego needs to deceive you and trick you into keeping and always being a seeker, right?
Yeah, man.
Seek the kingdom first, right? And everything will be added. But what if you had found it? What if you were living in the kingdom and the seeker is no more?
But how do we find it, my brother? How do we find the kingdom, my brother? I think it comes through one word, and that is gratitude.
Amen. Well, gratitude, and not just that, consciousness and awareness that it's already inside you. Everything you guys are looking for is already inside you, guys. And I know I'm talking to one of you or two of you out there, but most importantly, I'm talking to myself. This is the shit I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
All the shit you want out there is in here already. And once you own it in here, it's going to come out there. And then the great thing is once it comes out there, you don't need it anymore. And that's when it shows up because you're not attached to it anymore. And then guess what? You can actually be fulfilled and enjoy it on the way. Happiness is the way. It's not a destination. You don't get there and be happy. You can't struggle, grind. You and I don't like those words, hustle, grind. Now, a line I love, but hustle, grind to get somewhere to be happy, that doesn't make any sense.
Right. Dude, I love it. You got to find fulfillment before you find the money. I think some people got it backwards. They're trying to find the money to find fulfillment. The problem with that is, number one, you're not going to find the money. You're going to work your buns off. It's going to take you forever. And when you find it, all you've done is you've traded all the time you could have lived in fulfillment and happiness and purpose. You've traded it for this life of stress, anxiety, and lack of fulfillment and fear.
And then you get there. Well, and it's, guys, I went down that path. So let me talk about that path.
Come on now.
You can actually get the money because God's still with you. He never left you. This is, you know what it's like? It's like, and I journaled like 10 pages this morning on this same topic. So it's great that we're talking. It's like I have a 4-year-old daughter, everyone, and we go on these bike rides, and she loves to race and beat me. And then if you would consider her the ego for this example, God is so great that I'm looking at her racing me, and I could beat her in a heartbeat, no question. But I let her win. I see what she's doing, but I have free will, so let's let her win. That's what's going on within you. You're letting this ego win, but the higher self, the one that you're denying or you're resisting, he's watching everything. He's still loving you. God is still loving you. He's never left. Your higher self is still loving you. The Holy Spirit is still loving you. Just you can't see it because all your attention is focused on this miscreation, right? It's not even a bad creation. It's just a creation that's never gonna. The ego is based on lack. It can never achieve abundance.
Dude, I love it.
It's born in lack. It right? So, and the world is transitioning with this whole COVID and everything else to abundance. You cannot bring lack into abundance just as you can't bring fear into love.
Dude, I love it. It's almost like you're so focused on the problems, you can't see the prosperity in front of you. You can't see it. You can't see it. All you see is the problems. And it's like the prosperity's been there, and it comes from you acting in faith. It comes from you doing the things that take to follow and live in prosperity, but you're not obedient to that prosperity. That's what happens. That's what the lack of discipline is that you need to read every day. You need to work out every day. You need to focus on your business.
Meditate every day. When you talk about, dude, in the book, he says it. In the book, he says it in a great way. He goes, be careful. Jesus said this. Be careful with the deceitfulness of money. And I meditated and I pray and I go, why do he call it that? And he goes, he's not saying money is right or wrong. He's saying, make sure that the money doesn't control you, that by you owning it, it doesn't own you. And guys, I went down that path of 10, 15 years chasing the money, hustling, grinding. Here's what I'll tell you. You can get there. You can get there where you kind of get the money. But once you're there, you're never really there because you made your security and abundance and safety outside of you. And that which is outside is never going to fill a hole on the inside. It just keeps you chasing. So what I'm sharing with you is go get abundance, but make sure that your abundance safety and security inside, and then it'll show up a lot easier, a lot more graceful on the outside. And then, dang, you can actually enjoy it and be present and not be concerned if it's going to be taken away.
But let's clarify the idea of abundance, folks, because Ray, this is how I see it, man, and I want you to share your own perspective on this. But a lot of people want to own money. They want to own it. They want dominance over it. They want to definitively say that they own it. The problem is you'll never own it. All you need to do is to learn how to control it. See, we want to own and dominate the thing that can't be dominated, because then we're trying to dominate the flesh. We want to own the flesh. We want to own the stuff that comes from money. We make money the God. We make money the idol. And all we need to do is put ourselves in a mindset of prosperity where now we control it. And here's the problem, or here's the benefit. You're not even controlling it for you. You a hedge fund manager for the Lord. Like, if you think in terms of stewardship.
God, right there. Come on now. That's it, right? You are a steward over this capital for the Lord.
Talk about it,
that's
man.
That's
Let's go.
all you are. So
that's right.
I don't even like the word control, because control, if you look where it comes from, it's from fear. You're trying to control something. The truth is you don't control anything. Look at this whole COVID thing. We don't control anything.
Yeah.
Right? So can you surrender? Allowance? Now we're talking about and this, guys, what's born in time dies in time. Money is born in time. It's gonna die in time.
Yeah.
It's not eternal. Money is not eternal. Your soul is eternal.
Yeah.
Your light, you ongoing being a creator, that's eternal. Your relationships, my relationship with Ben it's eternal.
Amen.
It's not gonna die with this. This is gonna keep going.
That's
right?
right.
So what you give is eternal. Again, in the good book, he says, lay up your treasures in heaven where moth and dust cannot corrupt, where thieves cannot go in there and steal your shit.
I don't know. Hold on, man. I don't know if it says shit in the Bible. I mean, I could be wrong on this. You must have the NIV version or some kind of Miami Vice version.
I got the NIV boy.
My daddy never showed me that passage.
So what I'm sharing with you guys is guys, Ben and I aren't saying don't go after the external wealth, but make sure you're wealthy inside already, and then make sure that as you do go on that journey to wealth, that you're not just building treasures here, that you're building treasures more importantly up there.
Yeah. Ray, talk about stewardship, my brother, because here's what I believe. I believe when you're faithful with the small things, you get blessings in the bigger things. If you can manage your own bank book, then you can manage other people's bank book. That's the art of stewardship, right? Understanding that if you're given $1 and you're faithful in that stewardship, and you look at that money, when I say control, I mean it is your job to control that dollar, but it's not your dollar. Your job is to control it and manage it and plant that seed. With that dollar, you got to replant it back in the ground, and you got to harvest, and you got to reap that harvest, right? You got to cultivate and harvest that. So
I agree with you.
Here's what I believe. I believe a lot of people can't make $1 million because they can't manage two. You got to be able to manage your own bank book. You can't expect other people to invest in you and invest with you if you haven't proven. People say, well, I do no money down deals. You can if you've shown that you can manage the little money that you got. But if you can't manage the money that you have, why would you expect somebody else to take their hard-earned dollars and invest it in you or with you or in that deal that you're in? Like, dude,
if you can't be faithful over few, how do you expect to have much more?
So get your own house in order, man, before you try to get somebody else's house in order. I would rather people do this. You want me to lend you money on a deal? Yo, send me your personal net worth statement and show me where your weakness is. Show me where you spend money where you're not supposed to spend it. Show me that all that surplus stuff that you're wasting your money on. Show me your discretionary income, and I'll show you a person who either cares about their financial net worth or they don't. Because you cannot be reckless with your personal finance, but then be resourceful and responsible with somebody else's money. Dude, that is the truth, is it not?
Yeah, you've got to be able to, guys, to save and then invest and be able to be a great steward. Know where you stand. Look at your financials. Look at your ROIs. Guys, we look at our financials monthly. Actually, I look at the bank accounts daily. I look at the actual financials monthly, and we have a whole team to help us look at it. And a lot of the team now sends us referrals for money and or deals. And I'm like, a lot of these guys are new on the team. They're newer financial guys, whether it's a CPA or a consultant, right? And I'm like, we don't know each other that well. He goes, Ray, anyone that sends me monthly reconciled statements and has the level of team that you have around it and is reviewing this line by line every single month, I don't have to look much more.
Yeah.
The fact that you've managed this the way you've managed this, right? There's nothing to say.
Yeah.
Like who does that? Monthly reconciled. I'm on top of our tax situation. We know what's going on. Asset protection. Then that's when you're going to have more will be given to you because you can be a great steward of it. And God knows you're going to give more. The more you give, the more you're going to get. But also, in order to give, you got to be a great steward yourself, and that's where you start with yourself.
Ray, let me ask you something, man. A lot of people are afraid to come to a private lender and ask for money because I believe they have a massive integrity issue. They know that they wasted the last $1,000 in their bank account and used it on garbage. And then when they come to you to borrow money for a real estate deal, the integrity problem is this. They know that they've been irresponsible with their own money and they lack the confidence to manage yours with any different capacity. So that's why people are afraid to borrow money, because people with genuine approach to money and taking care of their own bank book, if somebody shows me, hey, I only have $20, but this is how I've managed it, and it's in a way that's wise and responsible, I'm likely to give them a $100,000 loan because they've shown me that they can be responsible with their own. But you're lacking in integrity, which is why you struggle to have the conversation with private lenders. That's how I believe. How do you believe, man? And I think it's obvious to private lenders, right?
I believe the same way, but I also believe, again, going back to the generosity and giving, what I find is the guys that think bigger are more generous. Not only generous in their thinking, but there's enough room in the deal because your think is so big that we can come in and make more money together. So they're asking, how do we make more together? Not how do we cut up a little pie? Every once in a blue moon, you'll see a guy who has $20, $1,000 and say, hey, Ray, I don't have a whole lot. Here's where I am. Here's my story, dude. But you know what? On this first deal, man, I got a home run. I got a scorcher. Dude, you put up the money, I'll give you half the profit and I'll pay you interest on your money. Let's roll. That guy is showing me something by his intention. What is he showing me? He goes, dude, listen, you're the whale in the room right now and I'm the ant. I want to prove myself to you. And then over time, we'll change the dynamics of the relationship. But I want to show you what I can do.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for banking on me.
Yeah, and I like that you put it that way because that is exactly what happens when you're a private lender. If you're brand new right now and you've never raised money for a deal or you're struggling to get money funded because there's a lot of private money in the world, lenders want to invest in other people who are on the come up, people who are about to win. I want to bank on you like I'm banking on a stock. I see an underperforming stock or an underperforming asset, better terminology, and that underperforming asset needs a little bit of guidance and clarity, and that guy can be a winner. That girl can be a winner, but I want to get you as you're coming back up. I'm not trying to get you when you're falling down. Hey, man, I had $1,000 last week. I only got 400 this week. Hey, I got 400 this week, and next week I'll have 100 because I have a gambling addiction or I have an alcoholism addiction or any kind of addiction. I really cannot balance a budget, and I spend money without even knowing how much I make. Can you invest in my deal? The answer is no. You see, I'm not investing in your deal. I'm investing in you. Let's call it what it is.
Amen. You're investing in them, and look, they're not being faithful with the few that they have. It's kind of been that analogy. Someone's pulled over in their car, and they're just kind of waiting for the tow truck, and they're not pushing their car. I'm not going to get off and push them. But if I see the guy get down off his car and push the car by himself, dude, I'll pull over my car and I'll help him push.
Yeah.
Right? So
he's waiting in his car, things still going. He's spare tires sitting in the trunk, and he's like, hey, can you come and, put the spare tire on? Dude, I absolutely get it. I absolutely 100%.
I mean, didn't Jesus say, hey, help yourself and then I'll help you? Like help yourself. Like he'll bring the rain. But you got to go out and do the work before. Like he ain't just going to bring the rain and you ain't prepared. Be prepared. So, guys, take this time to prepare. Ideally, you'd have liked to have been prepared for this. So, for example, Ben, let's switch up to the investing side because I have something I want to share with you guys. Let's
do it.
Because we're on the lending side, I really only have one calibration tool. And the calibration tool, on one side I have defensive, on the other side I have offense. And that's the only calibration I do as the market shifts. That's the only one I can do. I can position my ship to the way the current is, to the way the waves are, to the way the weather is. That's all I can control. Am I going to play more defense? Am I going to play more offense? I'm still playing to win, right? Because you can't win playing defense. Bullcrap. Look at the 94 to 96 Pistons. Them boys shut people down, boy. And all they played was defense. They could not score. I mean, they couldn't score to help themselves. I think it was the 04 Pistons, 04 to 06.
Okay.
So my point is, you can win playing defense too. So because we saw this market going this way, I saw the clouds. Like you could see it, right? I said, you know what? We're going to place capital, but we're going to place capital on the debt side and be very defensive about who we place with. And if we don't have a deal to place capital and it doesn't meet our high requirements, then we don't do it.
You don't place it, man.
Right, we don't. But now here's what's happened. So far, knocking on wood, God has blessed us throughout this. Everyone's paid. Everyone's paid on time. There were good deals. There were good operators, right? This market is going to expose the bad operators. But because we were defensive and faithful over the few, we knew it was that time. Now I think the season's going to shift to a more place where we want to be maybe more neutral, maybe even more offensive. Again, what a good steward of capital does is he manages the risk reward profile. That's it. If you can't manage risk reward, a lot of guys just look at the reward. And when someone comes to me and says, "Hey Ray, I got this smoking deal.
Yep.
I'm gonna rip 30." Yeah, but you got to put up 300 and you got to buy this house. I go, no. Yep. I'd rather you invest a whole lot. Like, how do we cut the risks? Guys, if you mitigate the risk in investing, the upside takes care of itself. 95%, 98% of what I do is mitigate risk.
Yeah. So
know thy risk.
You got to know thy risk. Dude, I like that. That's awesome. So, folks, I know you're in the comments like Alistair Douglas, Mercedes, Alexander, Mercedes, Douglas. Is the same one as posting. Sin, Kyle. Somebody wants to know, man. Let me see here. Got to manage your own money before you manage other people's. Absolutely, that is the case. Is it impossible to get money if you've never had any experience or credit? Absolutely not. See, you're thinking that we're a bank. See, we're not a bank, right? We don't have fancy offices. We don't sit there and we don't have bank managers. We don't have people that are just chilling there doing applications. We want to know you. So be smart about it. Be smart about how you approach a lender. Have a real conversation. Somebody says, what's the top thing you look for in a potential borrower or investor pitching a deal? You. I look for you. I look at you. I want to know you. Have you made an effort, number one, to show me? It's like a date. When you show up to a date, you either make an effort or you don't. You either smell good, look good, you roll up, all tight and everything else. You either organize, you know what restaurant we're going to, you know what's going on, or you don't. Or you roll up, and you're stinking like marijuana, and you don't know what's going on, and you got your pants half torn. I ain't trying to hang with you. So you got to take the same approach with a lender. Hi, this is me. Go ahead, man.
I call it the 3 C's.
Yeah.
Core values, competence, collateral. Really, the first thing I'm looking for is character, competence, and then I look at the collateral last. I'm really looking at your core values and your character first.
Yeah. I want to know you.
Foremost.
That's the easiest one to gauge.
Look, you could be a nice guy, but you don't know what you're doing. So then, but even the second bridge of competence, I'll help you with knowing what you're doing. I can bring that help.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to fake it like you make it, like you made it already, I'm going to snip that out in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Please don't fake it till you make it. Make it so you don't have to freaking fake it.
Damn, make it so you don't got to fake it anymore, man. Right, people are trying to... Here's the thing. People think that you was born with money. Like you woke up yesterday, got all this money, but here's what they forget. You already went through the same stuff, just like I did. You were 15 years, I'm 12 years. I've already been in it. I've seen it. I did exactly what you had to do. I've had the conversation that you're about to have with enough people that I know when I was faking it, they can sniff it a mile away. I can see you coming freaking 20 miles away.
A mile away.
Dude, it's easy. It's obvious. You don't get it because you're not in the lender's shoes. I get it. I know what questions to ask. I know how you're going to try to hide the facts. I know how you're going to try to use emotion instead of logic. I know how you're going to focus on you instead of me. I already know. The only thing I care about is your character, the risk, and the reward. And if you can't do that in an elevator pitch and make me feel confident about you, you're not getting the money. In fact, I'm probably going to cut that email like all the other emails we get. Dude, people hit me on IG all the time. Hey, man, will you fund this loan? Who are you, Mr. Z964532? Like, I don't know who you are.
Dude, I don't even respond to those. You guys, me and Ben as lenders, because we're relationship, I tell my daughter this because she likes to watch that movie Secretariat. And I go, Tina, Daddy and Daddy's business. She's like, Daddy, what do you do for a living? And I go, Daddy bets on jockeys, never on horses.
Boom. Dude, I like that. That's a good... You bet on the jockey, never the horse, man.
100%.
I love that. And that's the way you become relational.
Because the horse might mess up, but that jockey will figure out a way to win.
Right.
I've had great horses and great deals, but the jockey had a character issue or had a competence issue, and that never works out.
Yeah.
Dude, Ben, how many times have you seen great deals be killed by bad jockeys?
That's right. That's right. And you can...
There's certain people that had that negative fruit, and dude, out the good book.
That's right.
A bad tree cannot bear good fruit.
That's right, man. You can always switch out the horse, man, but the jockey is what matters. I'm telling you, it's the people. It's the people, not the product, not the profit, not anything else. It's the people. All of life, man, is people. That's it. If you get this, the sooner you understand this, the more time you can save, the more you can get around the right people, the faster you can grow. When you look back on it 10 years from now, be like, what's your secret? People. All I did was be a good person and attractive.
What's great, Ben, about people now too, bro, that people don't talk about is I don't gotta figure it out. Yo, I want to. Let's say I don't know anything about Canada. I don't know anything about exchange rate. I don't know anything about that.
Tell him, Ray.
Someone who does.
Tell him the truth, man.
And I trust him. Hey, yo, Ben, can you help me out here, brother? I got a younger brother here that sent me a deal. It's in your market. Can you help us out? Done. Like I didn't figure that out. He knew that. I just had to know where to get the information and be in a relationship and have added enough fruit to that relationship. Guys, what you want to do is you want to build credit with people.
Yeah.
And not count what you're building, but like make deposits with people, help people. Like come from that server's heart. And as you do that, just magic starts to happen. And you don't know where it's happening from. You're not counting. It's just, man, it's the law of reciprocity. Plan, you're gonna have a harvest. Just keep planning, guys.
Yep. And the truth is, folks, relationships equal wisdom. Every time I need to get on, get in a new market, get in a new deal, get into an uncomfortable area, I'm not there trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure who knows this stuff like I know my stuff. Because I know that same person will call me if it's something that has to do with my market, my opportunity, or my thing. I want to find the specialist, and I want to be able to take weeks or months or years and consolidate them into moments or hours of conversation. In that time.
Dude, that is the magic to turn decades to days.
Decades into days. That's Tony Robbins, right? Turn decades into days.
That is the magic because it's who you know. And then once you're in a relationship to them, like they'll spit out the good book right then and there. And then vice versa, because whatever you learn, you could pitch back. And then it becomes this great dance of like, how do we do more together? Because it's so much fun.
That's right.
Like what happens, guys and ladies, we want to leave you with a vision. The vision is once you get to a place where this is kind of what you hang around, like Ben doesn't see a whole lot of negativity in his life. All he hangs around is eagles. So you would think, dang, Ben, all you know is eagles. No, that's what all the good Lord brings me because he wants me to create with them. And it's so much more fun to create with eagles because like all the other stuff is already figured out. All the core, it's just pitch and catch, let's have fun.
That's
like
right.
if I've got to be around someone where it's always me looking to lift them up and they're a taker in life, it just feels heavy and clunky and it's not energy rich. And I don't want to be part of it, honestly. Even though I'm looking to serve, I'd much rather just cut them a check and do charity work and just keep it moving.
Yep. Dude, my brother Evan says that a transaction is a byproduct of a mutually vested relationship. When you take time to build relationships with people, guess what happens? It's easy to do deals. It becomes fun, enjoyable. Then it's easy to have win-win deals all over the place. I can call Ray, hey, dude, I got this deal. Boom, boom, boom. It even looks transactional. Hey, man, how did you do that so quickly? See, the difference is people are like, how did you do that so quickly? How did you raise money so quickly? How did you do it? Because I spent time in that cultivation beforehand. That's the only secret you need to know. What do you mean you made a phone call while you're in the Jeep and you raised $1 million? How do you do that in 5 minutes? You spend 5 years building a relationship so that you can do something in 5 minutes.
I mean, someone looking at, kind of you and I worked out together, they'll look at me and say, damn, man, you just built that bicep. Dude, this has been 15 years going 5 times a week. Yeah. Like what, you just think I just built this over the last year?
Yeah.
Like, come on now. Like, so I think people have this mindset of like this overnight thing or this quick, guys, make a decision that you're going to come hell or high water. You're going to commit to this, right? You're going to follow the straight and narrow path and you're going to be committed to the long term. And it's going to be a long game. But I'll tell you what, if you commit 10, 15 years to this and you don't count the cost, you keep at it, you can create something great.
Yeah.
But it's make sure that the intention going in that you're thinking 15, 20 years out. You're not thinking 3 years out.
Yeah. Dude, I love it. I think everybody needs to focus on the input. Don't focus so much on the output. The output comes from the input.
Especially initially, dude.
That's right. You got to put the work in. You got to focus on the input. The rest of it will take care of itself. Ray, man, this has been a powerful conversation, man. I'm so thankful for you as my brother. Folks, these are the kind of relationships you want. Let's call it what it is. When you got boys like this, you can do all kinds of stuff. This is how the world works. You want to be in the 1%? This is what you need to do is get around the 1%. That's why they call it a 1%. 1% ain't hanging out with the 50%. It's just not happening, right? I'd rather be alone and focused on doing the right things and boom, boom, boom than trying to hang out with everybody all the time doing nothing. So you want to be in that category of people, start with you. Start with the economy. Focus on you. Get you right. Get your mind right. Attract the right people. Then you get into the right relationships. And the right relationships are invaluable because you never know where one relationship can take you. One relationship could be worth thousands, millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars with the right person. You said at the beginning of this, you only need 15 boys or 15 friends, or I think
Maybe less.
I think like 5. I think you get 5 solid people in your life, 5 solid allies. You can do phenomenal things. So you don't need the whole world, folks.
Guys, right now I think I got 5 or 6. That's it. Like I don't need any more.
Mm-hmm.
And my question now becomes, how do we do bigger? How do we do more together?
Yeah.
How do I, instead of cutting, 6-figure checks, how do we start cutting 7-figure checks?
There you go. Boom.
So it speeds up business because you know how they roll, they know how you roll, right? And guys, I think one of the biggest things to take away is, what is the single number one best investment? It's in you.
That's right.
It's investing in yourself. Number one, by far.
I love it. Ray, thank you so much, man. This has been awesome. Really appreciate it. Folks, Ray, where can people connect with you afterwards, man? Where should they follow you or otherwise?
You can find me on Facebook at Ramon Gonzales. We have a podcast, my wife and I, we built this together, much like Andrea and Ben. The podcast is called Both on Board. So you can we're on Stitcher, we're on, all the other iTunes and everything else. So it's called Both on Board. And any way I can serve or add value, let me know, guys and ladies.
We're going to throw that on the screen full. Yeah, especially married folks. Connect with Ray, man. It's a beautiful podcast. They've got an amazing story, relationship. You want to follow the right people in life. And guys, if I'm bringing you somebody on this show because I value them, they're a great friend of mine. And, I want you to follow the right people. And these folks have been amazing to me. And Ray's been such a great brother and friend to me over the years. So I want you to follow my man, Ray, and really check out the podcast. Show my man some love. Hey, it's Ben Humble. Thanks for checking out the show. If you like what my guest is talking about and you're getting massive value from it, then scroll to the bottom, open up the description, and follow them on social media. Support them, connect with them. Just scroll down there, click the link, and let's roll. Stay humble.
Make sure to subscribe to Ben on YouTube so you can stay up to date on everything Humble, featuring daily episodes of the Humble Podcast and weekly video content providing motivation, real estate strategies, and personal development for everyday life. Also, follow Ben on Facebook and Instagram for daily interactions. Check out humble.ceo and download a chapter of Ben's new book, From Communism to Capitalism, absolutely free.